who is one of the founders of Cinematography for Actors. And then we also have one of our partners at CFA, which is Florian Anderson, who is a writer, director, and actor. She's helping me with our interviews today. Now, we have some cool filmmakers with us, one of which has his last name on his hat that I'm going to point out to everyone, even though he doesn't want anyone to know that, just because that's fun. It's the Hereafter. We have two filmmakers. They are Ryan Noufer, who's the writer and director, and Brian Buxton, who's the producer. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Welcome. So first, before we dive in, Buxton.
Yes.
On the hat. Gonna point it out again. What's the story behind it?
Well,
Did
it's
you
a
make
brand.
it?
It's a brand
Okay.
that has nothing to do with me.
Cool.
But it's
Fun.
my last name.
Great. Sponsor him.
Yes.
I have my last
actually
name
would
on
love
my
that.
underwear, but I'm probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be showing that.
No, but we know now.
Yeah.
And
Now
we
so,
know,
like,
yeah.
we can get sponsorship for both of you, hopefully, by the
Yeah,
end of this
exactly.
segment.
Games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're doing here at CFA is these short 10 to 15 minute interviews where we want to dive into the nitty gritty of filmmaking, specifically to the film that you have here at the festival. But before we do that, what is the log line of the Hereafter?
Yeah, the Hereafter is a dark comedy. It's about selfie caskets, a product that allows the dead to keep posting to their social medias in the afterlife.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is so fun.
Yeah, it's about a terminally ill girl
Yeah.
who just wants to be cremated so her ashes can be spread with her late mothers. But everyone is trying to exploit her image and say, well, no, we want you in a selfie casket. You're so beautiful.
Wow.
We want your image around everywhere. So, yeah.
What a great idea. This is so interesting to me.
Thank you.
How did it come about?
It came about, I guess I've always just been fixated on death and dying.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Especially late at night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And my dad, I'm pretty sure when I was younger, he said he wanted to be cryogenically frozen. Like, he told me this when I was like 4 or 5, and he's like, yeah, I really don't want to die. And so I've just always been it's always been on
You're
my
like,
head.
now I'm going to be a filmmaker and tell
Yeah,
that story
exactly.
in some way.
I didn't know that story.
How do you
Okay.
feel about death, Buxton?
We don't need to talk about that.
And so how did you guys come together to collaborate on this film?
Well, we've known each other for a really long time.
Okay.
Probably like 11 years
Yeah.
almost now. So we're roommates, and I produce for my day job in post-production. So I've always wanted to kind of, see if I could dive into actual production.
Right.
And so he kind of showed me the script, pulled me along. I kind of helped him develop it at the beginning stages, and yeah, that was kind of it. And since we live together, it's so much easier.
Yeah,
to,
for sure.
You can just knock on my door, yell my name.
Yes.
Sometimes he'll just FaceTime me from his room anyways, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I love close relationships
Yeah.
like that. That's a
So
lot of fun.
We're close.
Yeah.
right?
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. He has to look over and go, right?
Yeah, I
Right?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reassurance.
And so for the Hereafter, how did you shoot the idea of, because I'm sure you have some stuff in caskets and things like that, or is it
Yeah.
more the idea? How did you kind of develop the visual language of the film?
Yeah, for the actual selfie casket, some people told me like, oh, let's just like save some money and build a cheap wooden casket, and like, but I wanted to get like a real feel to it. So we had a art director, Kyungjin Lee, who designed an actual selfie casket.
Wow.
And so we like embedded a iPad in like an actual casket, and I wanted to feel like this product could actually have been designed by like Apple or someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was important that everything felt legitimate. So yeah, and just she was great to work with, and my cinematographer Patrick Elmore, he helped me design the visual language, and I like very like cinematic looking things. So yeah,
And how do you define cinematic?
I really like a lot of sort of lingering shots. I don't like a film that has quick cuts. I really like to sort of hold on a shot and let it build space. So that's important to me, is that it's a lot of slow tracking and a lot of slow dollies where you just hold with the camera and the performer. Yeah, sort of. That about covers it,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the most difficult part about communicating to your cast the concept of the film? Because you have, obviously, your character is going against the norm of what everyone wants her to do in this world. When casting, how were you communicating exactly how it was going to be shot, or the types of things that they were going to be required to do for the film?
Luckily, we had a great casting director, and everyone. I mean, the script is so important to me, and so I think I had everything there. I mean, it talks a lot about what we're experiencing today, of just image exploitation where like companies try to profit off of young people's images. And so I think people resonated with that, and they understood that there was subtext behind like the goofy concept. So it was important to me that it actually had an important message behind it. So luckily the actors we got really resonated with it. Kaylin Rice, who's the star, who plays Olive, is just incredible. And then we were lucky enough to get Patrick Fabian of Better Call Saul. And so our cast we were just blown away by.
Wow. And then for Brian, stepping into physical production side of things, when you got the script, what were you thinking were the things in short filmmaking? You always have to have like your sacrifices, but what were the things that you're like, I know this is important and we're not sacrificing this?
That's a good question. I think we ended up shooting in a airplane hangar.
Okay.
And we kind of just wanted to get this kind of like empty, like, but also super large, vibe for this commercial part of the film that's at the very beginning. There's an advertisement for the product. And, it was super difficult getting that sort of, environment to rent out an airplane hangar.
Right.
But, we put our heads down and we were able to figure out, we actually know somebody who knows somebody that works for the FAA or whatever, and they were able to help us. So it was just like staying determined and just putting your head down and figuring it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's awesome. And with you've mentioned, your DP and production designer. Obviously, we have producer, writer, director here. So collaboration is so key, especially in short filmmaking where you have so many constraints and limitations. How did you go about finding your key collaborators, and what was important to you when hiring them?
My DP, Patrick, I met him first day of college.
Cool.
And then the production designer, I just met through a referral. But on set, it was really just me, my DP, a gaffer who's been a longtime friend, a key grip, and then a sound recordist who I really trusted. Like that's always important to me, is that the crew remains pretty skeleton, because I've been on short films where you try to load too many people on, and there's too many cooks in the kitchen. And so it's so important to me, especially with short filmmaking, that everyone is focused on a singular vision. And so we were lucky enough that I vet everyone and make sure, even someone like the sound recordist who to me might just be just hire someone. It's really important that I get the right person for that, because sound is so crucial.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm very careful about who I pick to be on set. Yeah.
Wow.
And what was your process for post-production with your editor, for example? You mentioned you had very long shots. Did you have a clear vision of how you wanted to cut it?
Yeah, absolutely. I edit all of my projects.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it was something I'd been thinking about. While I'm writing the script, I'm thinking about editing already. I'm already mapping out the shots in my head. So the storyboard is always living up here. Yeah.
Fantastic. And for the next project, do you already have a thought of what it's going to be, and are you guys working together on it?
Yes, we're
hell
actively
yeah.
working on something. Just a little teaser. It's going to be about incel culture.
Okay.
And it's going to be about
Are you going to say the actual...
I could give a quick pitch.
Let's do it.
All right,
That's fun.
it's
We're all
going to be
ears.
about, obviously, it's a tricky one for sure.
Okay.
It's a bit thorny, but we obviously have an issue with mass shootings in America, and a lot of the perpetrators of such are sad and lonely males. So it's about a government program that sends female agents to the house of incels to have sex with them.
Okay, great.
Because let's hope that'll curb mass shootings in America if these guys aren't so sad and lonely.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, why not? That's
Yeah.
going to be great. So where are you at in the stages? Are you writing the script? Are you
Script is
already-
done. We're
yeah.
just
Okay,
trying
cool.
to find funding. So if anyone wants to throw some money at that idea,
Yeah.
We're right
we're
here,
here.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch. What is the name of it?
Right now, it's All We Can Do.
All We Can Do.
Yeah.
It really is. All
Yeah.
We Can Do.
Yeah.
We have to wrap things up. The Hereafter is screening today in an hour, at 2:30 p.m. at HollyShorts Film Festival at the TCL. If you cannot come today because we've given you last minute notice, bitpixtv.com is the virtual fest that is alongside of this one, so you can check out the Hereafter on there if you missed it here. Brian, Great names. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
and
you for having us.
we can't wait to check out the next one.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
fun. Thank you for having
Hopefully
us.
next year.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see you back here next
Absolutely,
year where we can all watch that film.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
right, yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. This has been another episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. Follow us on wherever you listen to your podcast to keep up to date on new episode releases. We will be live through August 20th here at HollyShorts Film Fest. If you're here, drop in and say a little hello at the VIP lounge. We also want to thank our sponsors, Apogee, Film Tools, Roscoe, Lightstone Rentals, Canon, and First Mile Tech. As a special gift to you listeners, we've partnered with We Make Movies to get you a discount on comprehensive production insurance packages. Use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote by visiting wemakemovies.org/insurance.
If you missed any of our live streams, you can watch all of our interviews on our YouTube channel, Cinematography for Actors. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Cinematography for Actors. You can also catch us in a more formal setting on Monday, August 14th at Japan House for a panel discussion on the importance of bridging the gap between talent and crew. You can get 20% off of your ticket purchase by using the code HSFF2023CFA at checkout.
Thanks!